love Canada!
We love Canada!
We love Canada!
We love Canada!
Canada is good. And we face problems, but we've been a good country that can overcome problems in our history. Canada is a good country, right? We can talk about how great our warriors are, and we took Juno Beach, and we went so fast that they had to call us back because we were kicking the Nazis' ass. That's true. But we're also a country that took our lickings. At Dieppe, we just tried charging the Atlantic Wall, and 50% of us got slaughtered. It's terrible, but we picked ourselves back up, and we did the right thing. Does this mean nothing to you, Olivia Chow, Justin Trudeau? Does the fact that the poppy is the international symbol of courage from Canadians in the year 1915 and one of the craziest last stands ever, does that mean nothing? Do the tulips that plant our fields in the spring, does that not evoke any matter of Canadian history to you? It's absurd. We have always fought for what is right. We've always stood with our allies. We've always been a player on the global scale. We've never been a European nation, a white nation, and this and that. We've been a Canadian nation, built on ideas with good, hardy people who could overcome horrific challenges. So I put that to you today. We face massive problems in this country. The government is incompetent. I will say that. The school systems are corrupt. The institutions have failed. But is that a harder challenge than anything our ancestors have faced before? Is that harder than taking Vimy Ridge? Is it harder than liberating Nazi-occupied Netherlands? I put to you that no, it is not. Canada is a good country. Canada has saved people. And Canada will continue to be a good country. And anyone who wants to burn our flag or tell us otherwise needs to get the hell out, because we love Canada and they hate it. Long live it.
We love Canada!
No more China!
We love Canada!
No more China!
Justin Trudeau issued emergency acts, and in my opinion, he's a human rights violator. They went after $10 that single mom donated to the most peaceful freedom act in Canadian history. But they cannot go after IRGC money laundering in north of Toronto. I'm gonna chant, you're gonna say, kick them out. IRGC terrorists!
Kick them out!
Samadun terrorists!
Kick them out!
CCP!
Kick them out!
What does it take for the polite, welcoming, tolerant Canadians to finally wake up, to speak up, to stand up on guard for Canada? What does it take for our government to finally take action, control the borders, deport the terrorists, revoke their citizenship? What happened in Vancouver and the attack on our Jewish school in our city is disappointing, disturbing, disgusting, but not surprising. Our government has failed us. The enemy is within. The enemy has taken over. The enemy is in charge, and our government has let it happen. Those of us who fled similar situations, similar madness to this land of hope, have been warning people, warning the rest of us for some time. Need we say more? How much more evidence is needed, actually? How far are we willing to go? For anyone to protect this country. I want to make a definition here. Loving, respecting, admiring, protecting our country, upholding our Canadian values, and being proud of our Canadian identity, which, much to our Prime Minister's dismay and denial, we have one, is not being far right. It's being Canadian.
Good evening, guys. I got a question for you guys. Do you feel like you live in the Canada that you grew up in? Everybody who thinks that, raise your hand right now. I don't see no hands. Well, this is the issue, okay, guys? What happened the other day in Vancouver, to me, it was an absolute disgrace. It was an absolute disgrace. We can't allow this to happen on our streets. I've been very vocal about the mass immigration that's happened to this country. At the end of the day, we got to be able to stand united, but we can't be tolerant to what's happening on our streets, okay? We are a tolerant country, a very, very tolerant country. But we need to take a stand. We need to unite. The government has tried to divide us. This is what's happened. We're fighting with each other, and that needs to stop. They can get away with burning our flags, with hate chants like "Death to Canada." Well, I got a message for Samadoun and terrorists in our streets. Free, free Canada. Free, free America. And free, free Israel. I also wanted to say a message to Pierre Poilievre. He's very big on his slogans. And you know what? He's actually catching on. I'm on him in his comment section on IG all day long. And people are loving it. So he likes to say, axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget, and stop the crime. Right? You've all heard that how many times? It's nice. It's good. But here, I'm going to add to it. Okay? This is my 4 things. How about we stop at mass immigration, secure our borders, deport the terrorists, and put Canada first. Pierre, bring it home. Last but not least, guys, we're going to stand until the end. This is our country, and let's make Canada great again.
I must say that not all the immigrants who come to this country, and I have the responsibilities to say that, not everyone who came to this country come with good intentions. They come to destroy the Western culture, our principles as a society. Make us feel because we are black or white or fat or skinny or anything, and make people hate the Canadian value, make people hate the Canada flag. People try to change the national anthem, the same thing that Chavez did in my country. Why? Because if you don't know where you come from, you don't know who you are, and you don't know where you go. Don't let nobody make you feel ashamed about the values of your country. And not every immigrant, and I'm sorry, but there is a very big portion of the immigrants who came to rebuild a life like me, searching for freedom and stability, and now we are afraid, and we're going to stand on behalf of Canada because we lost one country and we don't have anywhere else where to go. If we don't stand for this country right now, we are in the border to lose Canada forever or rescue Canada right now.
We're all here for one reason. What are we doing in Canada? What are you doing here? You want to live your life freely. Pray to your God freely. Love your family. Expect good lives for your children, to be a part of society, to contribute to the wonderful country that Canada is. Was. Because when I was a kid growing up, I don't remember being afraid of being Jewish. That wasn't even a thing. I had friends who were Indian, I had friends who were Muslim, I had friends all over the place. It didn't matter, we don't talk about it. It wasn't a conversation. It was, come over, I have the new Nintendo game. Not, hello my Muslim friend, let us be allies together against the war. No, that's not how it was. We were friends, we were Canadians. That's what we had in common. We're Canadian. Today, we have 2 enemies. We have 2 groups of people who want this country destroyed, who wants everything my mom worked for and sacrificed for me and my sister gone, who wants everything that your family sacrificed to come here from all the different parts of the world for a better life, gone. You have the Islamist extremists who people like Salman and his family had to escape to get away from. And what do? They followed them here. They followed them here to destroy what life they're trying to build for themselves as Canadians. A privilege all of us have, not a right to be Canadian. It's a privilege to be Canadian. And with the privilege means we have rights. We have charter. One of the rights that aren't in the charter that should be
and this applies to all of the Islamist extremists and the communists, their right to leave. You don't need to stay here. We're not holding you back. You want to live in a communist country? I can name a few you can go to. Live, enjoy the wonderful lifestyle of communism. My father ran from Russia. Friends were killed trying to get away out of Russia. You love communism? Go! Don't tell us that we need to be that. Don't tell us that we need to bend our knee and submit to Islam, to your brand of the caliphate. That's not what we're doing. You come here to this country, you are Canadian. And if you don't identify as a Canadian when you're here, then you're not a Canadian and you don't need to be here. Because everybody here today, all of us have one thing in common. Proud to be Canadian.
Freedom is our identity. Thank you, Rich. Freedom is our identity. Under Justin Trudeau leadership, Canada became a country that if you honk for freedom, they're gonna arrest you, they're gonna put you in the jail, and they're gonna freeze your bank account. But if you chant for jihad, for a globalization of intifada, wearing the t-shirt with the picture of Qasem Soleimani, Ismail Haniyeh, the other terrorists, Toronto police deliver coffee to you.